Hello, this is Daniel from Samdan's Couch. Today I will be looking at the new PlayStation 5 firmware update, which right now is in its beta stage. It will be released to the general public later this year. Besides new features like adaptive charging, being able to select who is allowed to play remote play on your console, and some other little tweaks, the biggest new feature I will be looking at in this video is the function of personalized 3D audio profiles. Sony has been tweaking the 3D headphone function since the launch of the PS5. This is the settings menu using the current public firmware. You are able to adjust your sense of height for the 3D sound, but that's about it. After the big firmware update from last year that delivered us Dolby Atmos for home cinema AV surround sound receivers, Sony went back to the drawing board to enhance the 3D headphone experience. Since everyone's ears and reception of sound is a little different, the way to get 3D sound to sound even better is by making a personal sound profile, and that's what I'm going to try out. Installing the beta firmware is easy, but does take around 10 minutes. The update is around 1.2 GB big. After redeeming the voucher code, the new firmware update will show up under the system's software settings. After the installation and a few reboots, the longest process is rebuilding the database, especially if you have a lot of games installed like I have. Once everything is finished, we can see in the settings which feature is brand new, shown by a blue dot. Selecting it brings up a little preview pop-up explaining the new function. I like this way of showing the consumer which setting is new and should be looked at. For people who don't want to mess with the personalized profile, you can still select settings from general presets. But I want to find out what the personal 3D audio profile is all about. To get used to know how to make a personal preset, Sony wants you to do a practice round. How this whole process works is that a sound is played, you select on the dome graphic where you think the sound is played in relation to your head. Then you hear a sound going either from left to right or right to left, sometimes even angled. Depending on what you hear, you select one of the rings that represent the sound you just heard. And then you hear the moving sound again, and you select a circle again. Now on to actually creating a 3D audio profile. We have to do what we just did 7 times. That is a lot, and you should have a little patience doing this. Funny thing is that if you take too long to decide, the software even tells you not to think too hard and not to worry about too much what your decision is going to be. After all, the 7 times you do this, the firmware will calculate a middle ground of everything you put in. So you're going to hit the right sweet spot eventually, even if you are wrong once or twice while doing this. After each step, there is a cool colorful animation that acts as a motivator not to give up. It is not always 100% clear to me where to pinpoint the sound or where the whooshing side to side sound is going. In the end, just take your best guess and it will be okay. After the 7 steps are done, you can tweak your profile a little more. You can change the sense of height by selecting one of 9 samples. And then you can set the angle of where you think the sound is coming from, with 9 more sample options. I haven't heard much difference here, other than a difference in pitch with some samples, but your mileage may vary. So how does it sound? First of all, you can use any headphones you like and don't need to own Sony's Pulse 3D headset. I'm using my trusty Bose Quiet Comfort 15 noise cancellation headphones, which has a nice full sound and a deep bass to them. Although I'm a big fan of surround sound using an AV receiver connected to many physical speakers, I understand that not everyone has the opportunity to have such a setup at home. So most PS5 users are refraining to headphones if they want a little more surround sound out of their PS5 and not just use their TV speakers or a soundbar. I tried out the new 3D sound profile with a handful of 3D audio games. I'm surprised how good and three-dimensional sound can be when coming out of a physical 2-speaker headphones. We have come a long way, and this is definitely a good experience when playing, especially after the manual personal 3D audio profile calibration. I'm still of the opinion that nothing can beat a real surround sound system with multiple speakers in your room. But when you don't have the means for it, 3D sound for headphones is definitely a great experience and way better than what your TV speakers or soundbar can deliver. The setup of the personal 3D audio profile takes a little patience and observation from you, but it's worth it. Just as much as it's worth it to do audio room correction on a modern AV receiver surround sound system, like for example DIRAC Live. As a great gaming 3D surround sound experience as of late, I can recommend the game Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. It is not only one of the best Dolby Atmos games on PS5 right now, but it also sounds amazing on headphones with a new 3D audio profile enabled. You can hear drums playing far away in the bushes from you, motivating you and creating tension in the background, while rain comes from all around you, rumbling from thunder in the far distance, while voice-over direction is right up front. Helicopters can hovering above you, and every sound in the jungle, every animal noise you can locate through your ears, and it sounds like you are physically in the jungle. When this new firmware is officially released to the general public, I definitely recommend that you take the time to set up a personal 3D audio profile. It does enhance the experience from the regular settings, and when you want to really dive into a game, put on your pair of headphones and enjoy gaming. Now let me ask you, are you playing your games using headphones, your TV speakers, a soundbar, or a home movie surround sound setup? Let me know in the comments of this video. That's it from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel if you would like to see more of my videos, cool tech reviews and games. It really helps me to make more content for you in the future. Until then, I will see you next time on Sam Dan's Couch.